going over the Broncos Bills divisional round game. Just another absolute classic of a game from the Denver Broncos this year. We've had plenty of insane games this year, and this one was not any different. Possibly our best game all year. Just gonna go down as an absolute classic there, really. So, like I said, we're gonna be talking about Broncos Bills, and then we're gonna be moving on, of course, after the Broncos' big win. Uh, AFC Championship against the New England Patriots. So kind of going back in time with this one. Two teams have faced off plenty of times, kind of in this same scenario. So going to be lots of fun to talk about both these games. Just a huge Broncos win. Still can't get over that. And then obviously we'll talk about the heartbreaking news after the Broncos win that kind of mellowed everything down for the week. But yeah, so before we get started, please like, subscribe, share. Appreciate all the support on these recently. Um, yeah, so just me today. No Ben, no Joel, no Normie. Love having them on. Didn't work out this week though. Um, Obviously, there's a lot later than I usually record too. It's been a busier week, but it's like -30 outside, so everything's closed down for today. So hey, we're recording today. Um, so yeah, like I said, let's kind of just jump right into actually, really quick, I'll talk about the kind of just what happened around the NFL apart from the Denver Broncos game. So, a really good, it's been a really good playoff so far, just all around. Just great games everywhere. Really, the only one um, that hasn't been entertaining is the Niners Seahawks game. That was just an absolute blowout. Um, I guess Texans Steelers wasn't all that amazing either, but overall, just a great slate of playoff football here without Kansas City Chiefs in here, without kind of the team that's been running the NFL for the past couple of years. So, um, yeah, that's always great to see. So, like I said, we'll talk a little bit here about what happened during the divisional round, not just the Broncos game, and then I'll jump right to the Broncos Bills game. So, like I said, Seahawks Niners, that was just a complete blowout, complete disaster class from the 49ers, really. Just from the get-go, it was just a bad game from them. Rashid Shaheed, the Seahawks trade acquisition, kick return touchdown, first play of the game. Um, Seahawks defense is just insane. Only forced one turnover from Purdy, but I mean, oh, actually two turnovers from Purdy. Um, but yeah, they just got an insane defense there, and they just held them down. So Seahawks win that one, 41-6. Um, yeah, not like I said, not the most entertaining game there. Um, and then we got the Patriots Texans game. Obviously, big game for Broncos. Because we're playing the Patriots this week, and we would have been playing the Texans if they won. So, um, lots of Broncos fans watching this one, but the way CJ Stroud played, the Texans, even with their great defense, they just they did not stand any chance there. Um, CJ 20 for 47, 212 yards, one passing touchdown, four interceptions. Just a brutal game from CJ. He's been really bad these playoffs. It's raising lots of questions about is he even the guy anymore? Because he just hasn't, ever since his rookie year, he just has not been nearly what he was supposed to be. And frankly, when he was out this year, Davis Mills did a perfectly fine job. So I mean, um, yeah, it's kind of up in the air, honestly, what's going to happen in Houston. Very interesting situation with quarterback there this offseason. They'll probably go back with CJ, but this is definitely probably his last chance because right now, he's looking like one of the worst QBs in the NFL. Just been absolutely brutal from him. Just terrible, terrible passes. Um, yeah, not much to really talk about from the Texans' offensive side apart from they just absolutely sucked. Patriots, they weren't all that much better on offense, but I mean, when you're getting the ball, um, all these extra times with all the turnovers from Stroud, um, you're going to put up points. So they put up 28 points on a really good Texans defense. So, I mean, that says a little something. But again, lots of that was CJ just being absolutely terrible. Drake May did pretty good, 16 for 27, 179 yards, 3 touchdowns, 1 INT, 2 lost fumbles. So that's something to keep an eye on. We'll talk about that a little bit later, but that's definitely something to think about um, going into this Broncos Patriots AFC Championship game. Ramondre Stevenson, 16 carries for 70 yards. Travion Henderson, 12 carries, 25 yards. He was in and out of the medical tent, I'm pretty sure, a couple times this game. So, yeah, not his best performance, but yeah, Kayshon Boutte put up a pretty good performance, 3 receptions, 75 yards, touchdown. Um, yeah, so again, good to talk about later. Just really excited for this Broncos Patriots game. It's gonna be a really good game, even without Bo Nix, which again is just crazy to say. Just still, it's just so shocking and so. Um, I just can't believe that we're done with Bo this year. It sucks. Um, so final game to talk about besides Broncos Bills, um, Rams Bears. It was kind of an ugly game. Both QBs didn't really put up a good performance. Stafford 20 for 42, 258 yards, no turnovers, no touchdowns, 4 sacks. Puka didn't really do anything crazy for his standards. 5 receptions, 56 yards. Um, and then on Chicago's side of the ball, Caleb Williams, 23 for 42, 257 yards, 2 passing touchdowns, 3 interceptions though. He did have one just crazy weird play at the end of the game there. I don't know what the defense was doing, but turned into a Caleb Williams highlight to go to overtime. Um, but yeah, I'm pretty sure threw an interception there on that overtime drive when they just needed 3. So um, second year QB mistakes gonna happen. DJ Moore had a good game for them. DeAndre Swift had a solid game. Yeah, just really, really good game. The veteran team definitely came out and won a ugly game where both teams didn't have their best stuff going. So not really a shocking result there between the Rams and the Bears, but still a great game. Um, so yeah, that's all the games that went on. So now let's talk about this just insane Broncos Bills game. Like I said, just it's gonna be an all-time classic. Gonna be rewatching this one a lot during the off season, whether we win the Super Bowl or not, because this game was just an insane. Excuse me. Just an insane game. Josh Allen. Well, you know what? I'll talk about player stats and everything afterwards. I'll kind of just go through the game, um, and what kind of happened here. So, uh, yeah, just I mean, you saw me, Ben, and Joel talk about last week. This game was it was always gonna be a close game. Ben, I think, had it a little higher scoring, kind of more like it was. He was probably closest to our predictions. Me and Joel went for the lower side, close game. Um, but yeah, just a insane game. Broncos offense really came to play. The defense, like I said, I'll talk about later. They got their turnovers, like we've been asking for all year from this Broncos team. They got their turnovers. Otherwise, they couldn't stop anything. Didn't force any punts. Um, So I mean, gonna need to be better than that when you're gonna have a backup QB next week, which again I'll talk about that later. But solid game just all around for the Broncos. So to kind of just get started, yeah, first quarter, um, great first opening drive from us. It was just cruising along. Bo was hitting his spots. Sean was just calling absolute great plays. Um, Pat Bryant was making insane catches. He was a big part of the game plan, obviously coming in. Um, Run game was working pretty good. We were just moving the ball really well. Like I said, on that first drive alone, Pat Bryant had 3 receptions for 32 yards. But also on that first drive, he gets taken out with a concussion, never comes back. So two concussions in 3 weeks. Um, Not a good look for Pat there. Obviously, that he just had a brutal one in Jacksonville there on that bad bow throw. So hopefully he heals up from that one. But yeah, um, just a great opening drive from us, and then Lil Jordan Humphrey drops the easiest touchdown he's ever had. So we end up having to settle for three, which has been something this offense has done a lot of. Especially on opening drives where we're cruising and then in the red zone we just collapse. Um, so I guess it was nice to get three there against a really good Buffalo pass defense. Didn't know how many chances we were going to get against them. So it was a big missed opportunity there. Um, Got to be better than that there, but obviously they do lock in. Bills' first drive, they just walked us right down and scored. I'm pretty sure. Yeah, they did. Um, I mean, yeah, their offense was looking just unstoppable to start the game. It was not a good look whatsoever from our defense. I was really worried about this one. It was looking like just more of the same. 'Cause yeah, things just were not looking good. Start with um James Cook just running us down for a nice little 34 yards in two plays. Shakir Cooks again, Brandon Cooks, and then Allen just snuck it in for a touchdown. Um, yeah, just a oh no, that drive ended. My mistake. I messed up. Oh no, it ended in a Nicole Hardman touchdown. My bad. I was reading this wrong. Um, yeah, so they got the ball with 7 minutes left. Has 7 minute scoring drive. Um, Definitely had me a little worried for this one because the defense just got walked down. Bills were just doing whatever they wanted on them. So that was definitely a concerning part of the game early there. So first quarter it was 7-3. Um, Bills had the lead, but then the Broncos came to play in the second quarter. Um, 17 points to Buffalo's three. It started out really scary. We got the ball right away in the second quarter. Where is it? Got the ball right away in the second quarter. Bo goes to hand it off to RJ. Miscommunication. Ball's on the ground. Bo falls on it. Um, then he has an incomplete pass, and then Cortland Sutton drops a 20-yard pass. That was an absolute dime from Bo, but kind of like last year, he dropped it. Crawshaw punts it away. So um, it was very scary early on there. It was really looking like a Broncos Bills game from last year in the wild card round. Bills offense was just doing anything on us. The Broncos were just having so many self-inflicted mistakes and drops. Um, Apart from that amazing first drive, just like that last year, just it looked like it was gonna be the same exact game, and I was really thinking it was. I was really worried about that one, but this Broncos team is not the same as it was last year. Um, so we punted away. Bills offense starts driving, 5 yard rush from Cook, 26 yards from Allen, but then um, Alex Singleton, Alex Singleton goes out there and has a absolute beautiful um, forced fumble. Just absolutely hit sticks James Cook, forces the ball out. Funga recovers. I mean, Alex Singleton, somebody we've harped on all year for bad play, which, yeah, he was playing bad. No doubt about that. But big play from him there. I cannot. That was a huge turning point in the game because the Bills' offense was driving again, already up 7-3, and it was looking like they just were not going to be stopped. But Alex Singleton, just great play from him, season-changing play from him, just absolutely amazing, amazing stuff from him. So from there, we get Jaleel in the game, get him going 13-yard rush. RJ comes back in 12 yards. Bo has a just a 1 yard rush in there. Um, Marvin Mims, he ended up having an insane game. Talk about him later because he deserves a ton of credit. Um, he was our only consistent receiver. Again, I'll talk about that later though. Marvin Mims just insane game from him. 27-yard catch, absolute dot from Bo. RJ 2 yard rush. Bo had a nice little 11 yard rush. We're in the red zone. Um, are we gonna stall out again? It's 3rd and 1. Um, it's kind of looking like we might stall again on the Bills 7. Bo rolls out to his right, and there he is, Frank Crum, the extra offensive lineman out there, wide open. Bo hits him, touchdown Denver. Um, that's something that Sean's been waiting to do all year. He set it up a couple times. Garrett Bowles had a chance in Philadelphia. Um, Calcio a couple times was running routes out there earlier in the year, and finally got the wide open opportunity from Frank Crum today. Not today, almost a week ago now, but that's not the point. Just an insane play from the Broncos. Sean Payton was really cooking this game. I'm never gonna doubt him calling the most bland play calling you will ever see for almost the final like 4 weeks of the Broncos season. Um, that concerned me a ton, but he came to play. The offense came to play. Um, but yeah, Sean, big hats off to him. Great game from him. So yeah, Broncos end up going up 10-7 there, kick it off, and Bills offense really just doesn't look back to that fumble. They just start driving right down the field. But Malcolm Roach, he gets a sack in there. Allen fumbles it, but he does retain it. But Malcolm Roach had another huge sack on 2nd and 9, and then McCole Hardman drops. This is where he dropped the touchdown, but it wouldn't have been a touchdown because there's offensive holding anyway. So um, cookies there, not the best play ever. Uh, Matt Prater hits the field goal. Broncos get the ball back. Uh, so yeah, we just kind of get right back on offense here. And Cortland Sutton, another target, another drop. Um, Kind of more of a miscommunication, I guess, but still, just the son we've been talking about all year long is, does Bo have the receivers? And early on, they were not looking like it. At this point, Troy Franklin out with a hamstring, so we're down Troy Franklin and we're down Pat Bryan. It's just not looking good whatsoever. But 2 minute drill here, that's where Bo thrives. Sean opens up that playbook and Bo just thrives in the 2 minute drill. Always beautiful to see. He drives us right down the field and finds Lil Jordan Humphrey wide open, deep touchdown. People were saying Humphrey redeemed himself, but I mean he redeems himself by catching another wide open touchdown. So um, yeah, um, so 22 seconds left on the clock when the Bills get the ball back. Josh Allen and the Bills, they decide to maybe try to get something with no timeouts, I'm pretty sure. Um, Josh Allen scrambles. He's got a free 20-ish yards. And instead of going out of bounds, he decides to try to keep going. And Nick Bonito comes up behind him, wraps him up. And Allen, he basically just tossed the ball back um, with like no time left on the clock. Broncos recover it. Devon Key recovers it, gets out of bound or gets down. 3 seconds left on the Broncos side of on the Bills side of the field. Just an insanely crazy play from Josh Allen, who all week was talked about Superman. Always comes to play in the playoffs. It's never his fault. All this, um, insanely bad play from him right there. He really, really sold the bag with that one. So Broncos end up going up 20-10, um, right before halftime. Bills, however, get the ball back, do a good job. James Cook doesn't get anything on a rush, and then Nick Bonito, somebody else who we've talked about, kind of ghosting in big games in his career so far, young career. Um, he gets a beautiful strip sack, something we've been asking for all year from this team, who gets a ton of sacks, almost a historic amount. Strips Josh Allen. Malcolm Roach recovers it. Again, great game from Malcolm Roach. And yeah, just great play from Nick Bonito. He really came to play. He really came to play. I was doubting him a lot, especially later in the year here, because he was just a no-show in tons of big games. But he really came to play here in the playoffs against Josh Allen and against Deion Dawkins, a really good offensive lineman. Absolutely amazing stuff there. So Broncos, just like kind of rest of the season, we end up stalling out um, kind of near the red zone. Will Lutz hits a 33-yard field goal, so Broncos go up 23-10. We would have loved to see a touchdown there, but I mean, you'll take three there. Bills, they just drive right down the field once again. Keon Coleman, touchdown, 17-23. Broncos get the ball back. 2 plays later, Bo Nix gets it tipped up in the air by the defensive lineman, like we've seen a lot throughout his young career, and it gets picked off. Um, so I mean, it wasn't like I mean, it was gonna be a bad throw anyway. So yeah, both threw INT there. No, no argument there. He threw an interception. Um, so Bills have it right back. They have the opportunity to just go ahead and take the lead here. But Josh Allen throws it deep. PJ Locke redeems himself from last year on that terrible deep ball to a running back on 4th and 1. He runs all the way across the field, intercepts Josh Allen. Huge momentum turning. We just needed to get that there because, like I said, the Bills' offense, apart from the turnovers, they were just driving and driving and driving. We could not stop them. So huge interception there. PJ Locke. We get the ball back. It's looking like we're gonna just have another 3-and-out here. Marvin Mims catch out of the backfield, goes for 19 yards. Keep going a little bit, and then we end up having to punt it away again. So fast forward, another methodical Bills drive. Um, ends in a touchdown. Bills go up 24-23, 13 minutes left in the fourth quarter. So getting a little nervous here because offense is designed to fall off now. And defense still cannot get a stop apart from a turnover. And, Josh Allen already has 3 turnovers, so kind of thinking, okay, he's probably done throwing turnovers. Um, so getting really nervous here because we've we've sold this 13-point lead. Things just are not looking good. But that's been every game this year from us. That's been every game this year. And Bo Nix and the offense always pick it back up. Um, Bills drive down, they kick a field goal. Only 4 minutes left. Um, Yeah, only 4 minutes left. They kick a field goal, go up 27-23. Broncos, Bo Nix start driving down the field. Sutton finally shows up on the biggest points on the game, just like he has all year. Him and Bo have a great connection there. And then Bo throws an absolute dime to Marvin Mims. One of the best throws on the season from any QB given the situation. And just, it was a hard throw. He got hit right after it. Beautiful deep ball to Mims. Only his second touchdown of the year passing wise. Um, great play from great play from Mims there. Great play from Bo there. It was just absolutely just uh, gave me chills moment. Broncos take the lead, 30-27 minute left. Defense didn't force a turnover, so that means they gave up points. Bills tie it up. We're going to overtime, 30-30. Broncos' first drive does not go good. 4-and-out. Crawshaw punts it away. Bills are driving down the field. They're getting closer and closer and closer to a touchdown. Throws it up to Brandon Cooks. Josh Allen does. Um, Jaquan McMillan, he's beat. It looks like Cooks catches it. They roll on the ground, and J-Mac comes up with it. He starts celebrating. Then the rest call interception. Replay stands. It's an interception. So absolutely insane interception from Jaquan McMillan. I haven't seen anything like that. He just tears it right out of Cook's hands, um, as the ball's in the air and everything. So as they are in the air, just insane, insane interception. Um, he talked about wanting to be a Pro Bowler this year, and man, he turned it up, and he deserves to be a Pro Bowler this year. Just amazing, amazing stuff from Jaquan McMillan. Um, so Broncos get the ball back. 3-yard catch from Mims, 24 yards from Harvey on the catch. That great play from him. He, once again, kind of like the rest of the year, struggled to run the ball, but came through in the receiving game. He's a great, great receiver out of the backfield. Lil Jordan Humphrey and Bo can't connect. Then we have a defensive pass interference. Um, 17 yards. It was a pass interference. And and Joey Bosa also hit Bo late, so that's another flag, but we declined that one. Um, Trying to get some going again, throw a deep ball up to Mims in the basically in the end zone. And it's another pass interference. Both of them completely worth a pass interference. Bills fans were they're still crashing on the refs almost a week later here. Basically ignoring the fact that their QB had 6 turnovers. So really, this everyone's saying it's a ref controlled game and everything, but they were penalties. And even on the one that was most questionable, that was a Sutton jump ball. Bosa still roughed Bo after the play, so it would have been a flag anyway. Um, and McMillan did intercept that football. Don't let any uh, camera angle fool you. When you see the real camera angle, you will know because McMillan 1000% comes up with that. And Broncos just get a couple more yards. Bo has a nice little rush. Um, and yeah, we kneel it down, set it up for Will Lutz. He knocks it through, and the Broncos are AFC West divisional champs. Or I guess just we just won the divisional game. I don't know why I had champions to that. Um, but yeah, we go on. We're gonna play the Patriots. Vibes are good, and then like 30 minutes later, news hits. Bo Nix is out for the year. Nobody saw anything happen on the field. Turns out on one of his scrambles or design runs at the end of the game, hurt it there, and then he might have aggravated it even more um, on his kneel down to set up the Lutz field goal. So this is heartbreaking. Final 2 plays of overtime to go to the AFC Championship. Bo Nix gets hurt. He's done. Fractured ankle, something he's had twice in his career, college career, and high school, I guess. But yeah, just heartbreaking. Um, you win, but it feels like you lose. But Broncos Twitter really shows up. We start dropping Jared Stidham, LeBron profile pictures and everything. Almost everybody's got those. That's fire to see. I got to stick with a Bo profile picture though, because this year's just been insane what he's done. It's really gonna go overlooked because of how he does have a really good supporting cast. Do not get me wrong, but in clutch moments, he carried this team so many times when they messed up plenty of times. Um, for him to not have to, for him to not have an opportunity to win, but he still finds a way. Just insane year from Bo Nix. Even with not really a true wide receiver one still, not really a great run game the whole year with J.K. going down about halfway through. Um, just insane stuff. Um, Insane game. Just to talk a little bit more about it. Bo Nix, Sean Payton, can't stress it enough. They both came to play. Great game from Bo Nix. He hit all the throws he needed to. He had that one interception, but game-winning drive in overtime and overtime sealing drive in, or what should have been a game-winning drive in the fourth quarter as well, but the defense sells. Just great game from Bo Nix, franchise QB. There's zero doubt about it. He's the most clutch QB in the NFL, no doubt about it. People want to push the Caleb Williams agenda and everything, but um, he's clutch. He did come through. That is very true multiple times this season, but Bo did it more. Um, and he's made it farther on the game-winning drive in the divisional round. Caleb Williams came up short there, so um, yeah, no knock on Caleb, but Bo is the most clutch QB in the NFL right now. Just insane stuff from Bo. Um, and like I said, Sean really came to play. Marvin Mims, I said it last week mainly as a joke that Sean was hiding, quote unquote, Marvin Mims for basically the whole season because we were not seeing him in the receiving game especially. He was just barely touching the ball at all on offense. But I think that's kind of what Sean was doing because I mean the final 4 weeks of the year kind of Sean was calling a bland playbook. Um, but he knew we could still win with that, and he knew the team could take those weeks off from uh, calling like huge plays on offense, and he was completely correct. We dropped 33 points in Buffalo. Just insane game. Bo and Sean absolutely cooked. Broncos fans, we are beyond blessed to have Bo Nix and Sean Payton with this team for the foreseeable future. Because as long as we got them two, we're going to be winning a lot more. And this season isn't even over yet. So, like I said, Bo out for the year, heartbreaking. McMillan, great game. Malcolm Roach, great game. Two super underrated pieces of this defense, and we locked up Roach on an extension. Really hope we do the same with J Mac because he's been, besides from Patrick Surtain, reigning Defensive Player of the Year, obviously. McMillan's been our second best corner, I think. Riley's had his terrible moments. He's had some good, but mainly terrible moments from him. Excuse me again, man. Doing solo podcasts here, I don't get a good break to yawn when other people are talking, so I'm just gonna be yawning as I talk here. So I mean, yeah, just Jaquan, Roach, big shout out to them, and then obviously Sean and Bo, big shout out to them. Marvin Mims, big shout out. Great stuff there. We were wondering what needed to change since it was the same exact game from the playoffs last year. The receivers didn't really come to play, but Marvin Mims, he's what needed to change. He got involved. Offense was thriving. Bo and Mims have a great connection, especially in clutch moments. We saw it last year, um, and saw it here this year. Just great, great game from those four guys: Bo, Sean, five guys: Bo, Sean, Marvin, Roach, McMillan, Benito also. Um, Great games from them. Singleton was in there. Hufanga had some big hits. Just a great game, pretty much all around. Run game and receivers, apart from Mims, kind of come to play again. But that's gonna be something they're gonna have to do this week because, like I said, Bo fractures his ankle. He's gonna be done for the rest of the year. There's some speculation that if we do make the Super Bowl, he will be back, but I'm not too sure about that one. He's not on the IR, so anything's possible, but Um, yeah, just not too sure about that one. So yeah, Jared Stidham time. Um, Broncos country's ready for it. It's gonna be really interesting. Sean has been singing nothing but praises for Stidham ever since he got here. He had a pretty good career at Auburn. He had an okay start to the NFL with the Raiders, or with the Patriots, then Raiders, then the Broncos. Looked good in preseason, but he hasn't played a official NFL game snap in 3 seasons. So he hasn't played snap in 3 seasons. He's a backup QB. Um, so it does get you worrying quite a bit, especially when Bo in big situations has carried this offense so many times. It's something that you really get worried about, missing out on Bo because he was a game changer this year. So looking to next week, like I said, we play the Patriots. Um, Big game. Patriots are 0-4 when they come to Denver in the playoffs. They've lost to a backup QB in the Super Bowl before, Nick Foles. So anything is possible, especially with our defense. We have the potential to be a historically good defense. Sack wise, we pretty much were this year, but we also had bad moments defensively this year, and they're gonna have to play better than giving up 30 points. I know they had a ton of turnovers. That's 100% true. They had a good amount of turnovers, but when you force no punts, and give up 30 points. That's not going to be enough to cut it with a backup quarterback, I don't think. So defense, they're going to have to turn back the clock. They're going to have to play like they did earlier in the year, which they 1000% can. Um, all they need to do is just force some punts in there. Stidham, um, just 2 turnovers or less. If it gets over 2 turnovers, we could be in trouble. But Stroud just he did so terrible. Um, that's the big reason why the Texans lost is because Stroud threw 4 interceptions as was taking terrible sacks. Um, Stidham just has to keep the ball off arm's way. I believe Sean will have a masterclass game plan. Um, so this game is going to look different offensively, I feel like. Not going to see rollouts quite as much. Bo is much more agile than Stidham. Stidham can still run. But, yeah, we're going to see some changes there probably. Um, yeah, just still so insane that Bo got hurt, man. Genuinely so heartbreaking. I was devastated. After we won, I was just peak happiness. And then like 30 minutes later, just absolute devastated for the rest of that day and pretty much the rest of the next day, man. I mean, your franchise QB goes down a game away from the Super Bowl. Just heartbreaking. So yeah, the offense, it's gonna look a little different. Sean said that Stidham will air it out. That's his nature. I 1000% trust that. I do want that because if um if we have had a more, I feel like Stidham is a top echelon backup QB. Haven't seen him in three seasons again, so hopefully nothing's changed. But he wasn't all that terrible with the Raiders. He did okay. Um, if we had a worse backup QB, this would be terrible because it would be obvious that we would be running more screens than we already do. Sean loves screens, loves short throws. Bo likes short throws too. Um, but Bo obviously airs. He can still air it out. Most 20-yard touchdowns these past 2 seasons from him out of everybody in the NFL. Um, he's still a big play guy, but he will take his shorter passes, and Sean calls plenty of those. So, yeah, if we had a worse backup, this would be very concerning because the Patriots would know exactly what we were doing offensively. And it's still something we are probably going to do more than usual. I mean, backup quarterback, again, hasn't played in 3 seasons. Sean said he will air it out. He definitely will, but um, you're still going to see I would say, probably a little bit more conservative offense. But the good news is, J.K. Dobbins has been reactivated this week. Doesn't mean he'll play, but he has been limited um, the past 2 days. Um, and today, I gotta see here. Uh, okay, so um, live news here. J.K. Dobbins is out for the AFC Championship. Uh, so heartbreaking there. I was really hopeful that J.K. would play because he practiced all week this week. Um, no, J.K. hurts so bad. Man, that sucks. I really thought they were gonna rush him out, especially with Bogan and her and everything. Man, that sucks. Um, yeah, so J.K. is gonna be out. Troy Franklin questionable. Juan Bird questionable. Alex Forsyth questionable. So we might be on our third string center and no run game with a backup QB. Oh man, that hurts. That hurts bad. Oh man, I was so hopeful that Dobbins was gonna play. Man, Pat Bryant's gonna be playing. That is huge. But man, JK out hurts. So still, I think we're gonna have to rely on Jaleel and RJ. I really hope RJ gets Jaleel gets a lot more reps because he's looked a lot better the past couple of weeks. So we're gonna need him out there. But man, yeah, I was really hopeful JK would play and that we'd be able to lean on that run game a ton. But man, that hurts us bad there. That hurts us bad. JK being out there. So yeah, Jaleel, RJ, next man up. It's been like that the past. It's been like that for the past like half the season now. So yeah, gonna. I still think we're gonna rely on the run game more than um more than you would see. Um, a lot more runs, probably some shorter passes. But yeah, JK being out hurts so bad, especially with a backup quarterback and you might be on your third string center in the AFC Championship. Yee. Um, but the main thing that hasn't changed, no matter all these injuries, is that the defense has to come to play. Um, they had a little more leeway with Bo being healthy, but not now. They're gonna have to play other minds. Um, Good news is Drake May has not looked like regular season Drake May here in the playoffs. He's played good defenses to be fair, but he's had troubles holding on to the ball in the pocket. He's fumbling. And the Broncos have a really good pass rush. They can be very, very good. They can also ghost in big games. Um, so they got to come to play, force the ball out, pressure May, just get that ball out of his hands, strip sacks. You're going to need to see that. Um, you're going to need to shut down the run game. Gonna need to force punts. We're just gonna need to have a great, great defensive showing. With JK, I would have said hold on below 17 points. Now I'm probably saying we gotta hold them below 14 points. Because I mean the Patriots they have a pretty solid defense too, and again backup quarterback. I believe Stidham can win this game even if the defense gives up more than 14 points, but it's going to be a lot harder to win. Um, it's going to be a lot harder to win there. So we're going to need to shut down Drake May. 17 points max. Um, and this game it's going to be a nail biter either way, but this game's going to be a extremely stressful game, extremely scary game if the Broncos give up. Um, 17 points. The goal for me would be like 10 to 14. Don't get past that 14 mark, and we have a very good chance because Sean will cook something. Jarrett, I think, will be able to drive the offense down the field to score a couple times. Um, the Patriots are making a questionable decision, something that isn't being talked about all that much. They're still not in Denver. They are flying out to Denver tomorrow on Saturday instead of getting used to the altitude, which they haven't been in. This team hasn't been in for a minute now. So they're going to have to get used to that. Vrabel's teams has not played good. They have not played good in Denver. Um, and again, they haven't practiced in Denver, and it's going to be freezing cold. They're used to the cold, but the altitude, um, that's something that your bodies are just going to have to adjust to. It's not a skill thing or anything like that, but only giving them a day to do that, I guess we have a little advantage there. Because altitude sickness and everything that's a real thing. So them not having as many days to adjust is huge, but can't rely on that to win you a football game. Um, Defense is going to have to come to play. Um, we're going to need to see Nick Bonito just one of his better games. He's going to have to play like he did last week. We're going to have to see Cooper wake up a little bit more. He's kind of been silent the past couple weeks. Zach Allen, JFM need to keep doing what they're doing. Malcolm Roach needs to keep doing what he's been doing. DJ Jones needs to wake up a little bit. Dondre Tillman, Jonah Ellis, they need to ramp it up. Secondary needs to be on absolute locks. Um, I believe Pat can shut down Diggs. There's zero doubt about that in my mind. He can shut down any receiver. But defense is going to have to come to play. Um, like I said, ideally 14 points or less. Offensively, no JK. I'm still thinking we're gonna lean on that run game. Sean hopefully runs to the outside a little more because that is where RJ has had some success this year. Running between the tackles and just running in general for RJ this year has been a struggle, but Sean keeps giving him RB1 carries. Um, gonna need more carries than just 10 running back carries like we did last week. Bo was our leading rusher last week. Well, that's gonna be huge. Just huge that JK's out, man. That hurts so bad. Um, I still think we can win this game, like I said, but with JK, I was confident we would like actually win this game. Um, yeah, no JK sucks. Um, so RJ Jaleel, hopefully we give Jaleel more carries. That's going to be essential. Receivers are going to have to catch the freaking football, especially if Stidham has um, some troubles like pretty much everybody's kind of expecting a backup quarterback who hasn't played in 3 seasons to have in the AFC Championship game. Hopefully Stidham really comes to play. No turnovers. I mean, just one or more turnovers from him, and things are definitely dicey. Defense needs to come to play. Um, there's really not much to say there. That's just what has to happen. So again, defense needs to come to play. 14 or less points. They need to get turnovers as well. 2 or more turnovers, ideally. Um, which they did on Josh Allen and the Bills, a team that doesn't turn it over often, especially in the playoffs. So that's huge. Run game, gonna need more than 10 running back carries. I'll give you that. Probably combined, gonna need to see more than gonna probably want to see like 100 yards combined from our running backs, which they can do that 100%. They've been cold for a little bit now though, so hopefully they break out of it here. Stidham, keep the ball out of harm's way. That's what I really hope everybody's telling them that. Just keep the ball out of harm's way. Trust the defense. This game is on the defense. You just have to go out there, keep the ball out of harm's way, and manage three three scoring drives. Just 3 scoring drives. Well, 3 touchdown drives. Um, hopefully the defense sets us up in good field goal position sometimes, so it's not all on the offense. But I fully believe Sean and this offense can do it. So, um, it's just, it's just um, we are just complete underdogs here. It's going to be a everything needs to go right for the Denver Broncos type of game. Um, you've heard me say it. I'll say it one more time. Defense needs to come to play. RJ, Jaleel need to have a great game. Stidham, no turnovers. Sean, come to play, please. Um, cook up your best play calling game I've ever seen. Take a backup QB to the Super Bowl. Hall of Fame coach, no doubt about it. Vance Joseph, just call a great game, please. I am very critical of Vance. I don't think he ever really calls a great game. I think he is. I'll just say it flat out. I think he's propped up completely by this defense. I hope he proves me wrong. Um, just absolutely, defense has to shut down the Patriots. Um, I still think we can win this game. So really, last thing, score prediction. Um, man, it's just gonna suck without JK. Man, that's just not fun whatsoever. Um, but I will go 17-13. Broncos win. Close game all the way through. Um, defense clutch turnover at home, mile high. Man, it's gonna be a game. Um, but win or lose, it's been a great season from us, and um, we lost our starting QB, franchise QB, before the AFC Championship, so that sucks. Nobody's expecting us to win though, so just go out there and nobody's expecting us to win, man. We just got to go out there and play our brand of football, man. We can win this football game. So yeah, my prediction: low scoring, 17-13, nail biter, just like every Broncos game. We gotta go out there and win. It's just gonna be a big game this week, man. It's just gonna be such a big game. It, I just cannot wait for this game. It's gonna be a good one, even with JK out. It's gonna be a good one. It's going to be very stressful, and there is that pretty good chance that it is um, absolutely terrible to watch as a Broncos fan. Um, there's a very real chance. So, with all that being said, let me know your thoughts, what the Broncos need to do to win this game, especially with J.K. Dobbins out. What do you guys think we need to do to win this game? So drop comments, please like, subscribe, share. Again, I appreciate all the support. Hopefully the next pod I'm doing is Broncos preview of the freaking Super Bowl. We are one win away from the Super Bowl. Um, God believe in Stidham. It's Stiddy City here. Um, gotta go find a way to win a football game here. Gotta go find a way to win. Take it one game at a time. Um, yeah, so again, hopefully next time we're talking about a Broncos win. Hopefully Ben and Joel can be back then. Um, oh man, just yeah, gonna be a crazy game. Hope everybody has a great final 2 days here before the Broncos' biggest game in years. Hope everybody has a great rest of their day, and go Broncos. Gotta believe.